Good evening, everyone. Discovering Education for Basics is going to present a live class. Today is an important topic will be discussed, that is directly related with the objective of institution, objective of human lifestyle. SWOT analysis is the topic. Today, Discovering Education for Basics. Welcome everyone. Welcome every listener, learner who are intended to accelerate own perception, own performance in respect to deal with different related dimensions, namely some positive dimensions. There are so many negative dimensions, but it is important to identify them for appropriate manipulation, appropriate implementation of human capacities or probabilities. SWOT analysis is the topic. It is directly associated with the matter of individual performance as well as the matter of institutional performance and similarly organizational performance. Discovering Education for Basics, your channel, it basically focuses on the matter of academic development, on the matter of academic excellence. It is a channel, it is a YouTube channel. Welcome everyone to meet this live class, to attend this live class. Now I am going to discuss this topic. It is a fundamental topic enlisted in the syllabus of NTA NET in education. So I am going to present. What is SWOT analysis? There are four fundamental terms. There are four important terms. There are four important letters. Every letter represents some technical parameter, which parameters are associated with the performance, with the improvement, with the appropriate management of an institution. It is a fundamental technique to manage the institution as well as to manage the resources, similarly to utilize the available resources in respect to meet the institutional goals and objectives. The first letter represents the matter issue, that is strength. What is a strength? Generally, strength is considered as the capabilities or capacity. I am capable and therefore I can do. This is the parameter. What is the strength? Strength is power to do. Strength is the capacity to do, to imply something. This is S, represents the issue of strength. Second, weakness. It is a parameter of some difficulties, problems and different barriers associated with the normal movement, normal implementation of a program, of a plan regarding the objectives or aims of an institution or organization. Weaknesses is basically considered those things which are performed to resist the normal movement of anything. Third important term represents, that is O, represents the parameter of opportunities. What is opportunity? Some favorable circumstances, some favorable issues. Those issues will play a vital role to move. Similarly, to imply the technically designed to imply the planned approach in the realistic condition, in the real situation. So opportunities is something, those are very important to enrich, those are very important to consider. Sometimes it is considered as the luck, but opportunities are some valuable parameter, some fundamental issues, those have the potentiality to regulate the efficiency level of any operation or any action. And fourth important term, that is threats. T represents the technique or issue of threats. Threats means some unavoidable circumstances, some threatening circumstances, threatening issues which can create, which are not able to control properly, but they have potentiality to resist, to harm, to divert. This is the matter. Today's topic is SWOT analysis. It is a topic that focuses on the four fundamental terms: strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Those terms are very important to regulate or to assess the actual movement of an institution, to fulfill the normal principles of an organization. SWOT analysis means analysis of strength, analysis of weaknesses, analysis of opportunities, analysis of threats. Those are the fundamental issues. Now, I want to focus to describe these things technically. What is analysis? I want to conceptualize this term. I want to focus this term. What is analysis? Analysis is a process of critical study in respect to be aware, aware about the unidentified features or qualities of a fact properly. There are some technical dimension to consider this process. What is analysis? Analysis is a process of critical study, means it is a process for detailed study. Why this type of study is very important? It is important to develop the awareness. Which things? The awareness will be developed about the unidentified features, those features or qualities of any fact. The main objective of this analysis, this technique or this process, to create an effective awareness about the unidentified features or qualities. That understanding, that awareness will help to stimulate the process of thinking. Those process of thinking will be the cause of creation of new idea or creativity. What is analysis? Analysis is a process which needs the practice of critical thinking about the defined issue. It is basically associated with the matter of defined issue. It is not related with the undefined issues or described issues. It is a process that needs the practice of critical thinking. Practice of critical thinking. What is the actual meaning of this term? Practice of critical thinking means use or applicability or application or implementation of thinking power or thinking in detail. Detailed thinking is considered as the critical thinking. In the case of analysis, the effective use or effective practice of critical thinking is considered as very important issue on the matter of defined things. Thirdly, analysis is a strategy to collect detailed information on an event. It is a process to collect representative data, representative information on an event. It is a very strategic mechanism. It is a very important strategy to collect detailed information. Fourthly, it is considered like that analysis is a process to deal with the relationship between cause and effect properly. It is a process to deal with the relationship. There is a effective relationship between cause and effect. Analysis is a process that will help to identify the actual dimensions, that will help to find out the actual parameters. Those parameters will be related with the issue of cause, and similarly it will be related with the matter of effect. How many dimensions or how many features are there, those features will play an important role to create some effect. Analysis is a process that will help to find out the relationship or type of relationship. Therefore, it is very important thing. Analysis is a process to assimilate all interrelated issues of a defined issues under critical study. It helps to assimilate all interrelated issues. Those interrelated issues will help to find out some common dimensions. Those issues are very important to find out the critical segments of analysis. So analysis is a process to assimilate. Now I want to focus on the other important technical dimension. Those dimensions are directly related with the matter of SWOT analysis. What is SWOT analysis? Now I want to focus on that matter, that issue. What is SWOT analysis? SWOT analysis is a process to analyze strength, weaknesses, opportunities and threats respectively. For what is the purpose of these types of analysis? Its basic objective for completing a task of an organization as per the predetermined objectives or aims. There are some fundamental objectives, there are some predetermined aims on other things or goals. In respect to meet them, in respect to perform against the objective or aims, this analysis, that is SWOT analysis, will help to complete any task. Therefore, it is very important to do. It is very important to organize. It is very important to complete the organizational activities. Therefore, it is very important. There is an organization. Organization has some strengths. Organizations has some weaknesses. Organization has some opportunities and threats. It is important to minimize the effectiveness, minimize the influence of weaknesses. It is important to minimize the influence of threats, and it is important to increase the influence of strength. Similarly, it is very important to apply or use of opportunities properly. Such techniques, such strategies or such aspects will be provided by the analysis, that is SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis will be helpful to do these things, to find out some common or technical aspects which are associated with the objective of an organization. What is SWOT analysis? SWOT analysis helps to build a successful organization by maintaining all related activities. An organization will imply a lots of activities. It is important to manage. It is important to conduct all those activities which are very important to meet the objective of an organization. If an organization intends to fulfill those objectives, in such cases, SWOT analysis will help to perform those activities or responsibilities by providing some technical answers, by providing some technical parameters for consideration. Therefore, it is very important to build a successful organization. SWOT analysis helps to regulate the institutional performance. It is a process that will help to regulate the institutional performance. Is the institution suitable to do? Is the institution very capable to perform on objectives or not, that will be defined, that will be assessed properly with the help of effective SWOT analysis. Therefore, SWOT analysis is a very important thing. It is a very important strategy. It is related with the practice of management. It is related with the practice of organization. Now, I want to focus on this sentence. SWOT analysis helps to manage all activities of an institution perfectly. There are two important terms: to manage all activities of an institution. What is management? Management is a combination of 6 important activities. First one, planning. Second one, organizing. Third one, directing. Fourth one, motivating. Then controlling and staffing and then controlling. There are 6 fundamental important activities. SWOT analysis will provide some technical answer. SWOT analysis will provide some technical information. Those technical information will help to plan which types of activities will be beneficiary for fulfillment of an organizational goal. And that information or thinking will provide some dimensions. Those will be helpful to direct all activities. Therefore, it is considered like that SWOT analysis is a very helpful thing, helpful mechanism that will help to manage all activity, institutional activities in respect to fulfill the parameter of perfection. So, I want to focus on other things associated with the matter of this presentation or this discussion. What is SWOT analysis? SWOT analysis helps to evaluate the continuous progress of institutional activities. It helps to evaluate is the performance, is the progress rate of an institution is preferable or not. That will be evaluated on the basis of effective analysis of strength, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. Therefore, it is very, very important to evaluate the level of continuous progress. Now, I want to focus on these things, on this statement. SWOT analysis helps to balance between strength and weaknesses properly. Initially, I have discussed on that matter. There are two considerations, strength and weaknesses. If an organization intends to be successful in this case, that institution needs to imply the strength by minimizing the effect of weaknesses. Similarly, that institution also needs to use the opportunities by overcoming the negative effects, negative influences of threats. SWOT analysis helps to balance between opportunities and threats. Now, I want to focus these things. SWOT analysis helps to effective planning of an organization. That I have already discussed. Now, I want to focus on the other things associated with this presentation, this discussion, this class. Simply, SWOT analysis means analysis of strength, analysis of weaknesses, analysis of opportunities, and analysis of threats. These things are associated with this process, this technical process. Now, I want to conceptualize other associated component. What is strength? Strength is a quality to complete defined objectives. This is a strength. It is very important to complete a defined objectives. It is a quality. Strength is a parameter that helps to assess the capabilities of an organization. It helps to assess. This process will help to find out the representative information regarding the issue of capabilities, institutional or organizational capabilities. That capabilities are very important. So, strength is very, very important thing to consider. Strength is a criteria of consistent performance. Consistency of performance, desirable performance, is very important thing to fulfill the performance of continuous development. Strength is a criteria of consistent performance to assure the progressive improvement, progressive rate, permanent progressive rate or permanent improvement rate that will be specified on the basis to apply the available strength or identified or defined strength. Strength can stimulate all human competencies. This is the parameter that help to stimulate the human potentialities, human capabilities or competencies. Strength is an important index to control the competency level of a process. It helps to manage, it helps to control the competency level of a process. Now, I want to focus on the other technical dimensions regarding the issues of strength. Strength is a cause of quality product or service, brand and resources. It is a cause. If an organization or an institution is capable to use own strength, in this case, that productive organization will be able to assure the quality of a product, the quality of a service, and that will establish the brand, and that will be effective to use proper use of resources. Therefore, strength is very important. Second important thing is strength is considered as the factor to create resources. It has the probability to create resources through the proper identification and proper implementation of the different policies or principles associated with the matter of strength. An individual or an organization will be able to create some resources. That resources are very important. That will be the reason, that will be the factor to regulate the mechanism of continuous progress. Strength is a process to identify the power to do an action. What is the power? What is the potentiality? What is the parameter that will be specified properly with the effective practice of strength? Strength is considered in different names, namely competency. Sometimes it is considered like that, competency. Sometimes it is called efficiency. Sometimes it is called power. Sometimes it is called capacities, potentialities. There are several similar terms, similar techniques, similar processes. Those are responsible to establish the importance, establish the effectiveness or importance or important criteria of strength process or strength mechanism. Strength is a defined and identified efficiency to complete a task properly. It is defined process. It helps to define also. It helps to identify also. Through the proper identification and defining, an organization will be able to find out the fundamental dimensions for planning. Those planning will be associated with the approach to complete any task. Those are responsible to maintain the organizational values or organizational objectives. Now, I want to focus on the matter, that is, what is a strength analysis? Strength analysis. Now I want to focus on the matter, on this matter. Strength analysis is a process of critical analysis. Critical analysis. It is detailed analysis. It is a process of detailed analysis in respect to define the extent. Extent means degree or level of capacities or level of efficiency or level of power, level of potentiality. How it is very important to define? It is very important to define. It is important to meet the defined objectives. Therefore, it is very important. Strength analysis is a process to define the level of effectiveness, effective operation. Which types of operation or activity will be beneficiary to fulfill the objective of an organization based on the available features of a fact. Therefore, it is very important process. Strength is a process to define the level or degree of effective operation. Strength analysis is a process to define the criteria of quality activities in connection to meet the needs of a society. It is a responsible process. It is very important process to define the criteria of quality activities. Which qualities are very important, which qualities are associated with the matter of quality activities. Those activities will be able to fulfill the needs of a society. Strength analysis is a process to define the rate of progressive performance. Rate of progressive performance. It is very important. Now, strength analysis is a process to develop a direction for monitoring all associated activities. It is a process to develop a direction. It helps to develop a direction. The direction will be responsible for monitoring of all associated activities of an organization. This is the process of strength analysis. What is weaknesses? Now, I want to focus on these things. What is weaknesses? Weakness is an indicator to specify the level of limitation of any task. It is an indicator to specify the level of limitation. How much it is limited. How many things are associated. Those things will be responsible to limit of performance in connection to any defined task. This is the parameter. Secondly, weaknesses is a factor to resist the desirable rate of progress of a task. It is a factor to resist the desirable rate of progress. That progress will regulate negatively the performance of a task. Weaknesses is a factor to divert the normality of an institutional activities. It is responsible to divert the normality or level of normality or normal consideration. Weaknesses is a key aspect to deviate the settings framed by planning. Weaknesses is a cause that helps to divert the aspects of planning. It will be responsible factor to divert the planning. This planning is defined to meet the institutional goal. Now, I want to focus on the other things. What is weaknesses? Weaknesses is a factor to prevent the factor. It is a factor to prevent the defined activities to complete a task. It is a factor to prevent the normal movement or improvement or growth of an organization. Weaknesses is a cause to create poor decision. It is a cause to create poor decision as per the defined parameter of an organization. It is a cause to create poor decision. It is responsible to create poor decision. Weaknesses is a controllable thing of an organization. If an organization likes to control, weaknesses will be controlled. It has the potentiality to control. Now, weaknesses is a cause of large wastage. Sometimes the proper or maximum effect or influence of weaknesses will be the cause of largest level wastage of resources. So, weaknesses is a parameter of institutional limitation. Now, I want to focus on the issue of weakness analysis. Weakness analysis is an approach to define the related limitations of a task that I have already discussed. It helps to find out the limitations of a task. Weakness analysis is a technique to find out the cause of non-desirable deviations of a task. It helps to find out the cause, how non-desirable deviations have been conducted, have been observed or perceived in an organizational activities. That will be specified on the basis of effective utilization of the knowledge provided by the process of weaknesses analysis. Weaknesses analysis is a technique to overcome the related probable difficulties of a task. Related and probable difficulties of a task, that will be specified, that will be defined by implementing the mechanism of weaknesses analysis. Weaknesses analysis is a system to distinguish between favorableness and non-favorableness of a task. Which things are opportunity, which things are the cause of limitations, that things will be distinguished, will be differentiated on the basis of effective knowledge provided by the weaknesses analysis. Weaknesses analysis is a process to highlight a perspective to prevent the unintended effects of related variables. There are different related variables. Sometimes those variables are considered as the intervening variables. To overcome the negative effect of intervening variables, this process will provide some guideline that will be very important to nurture the organizational activities. Now, I want to focus on the other things. What is opportunities? Opportunities are favorableness of a situation or a condition within an environment. This is opportunity. It is favorableness of a situation. Opportunities are the possibilities which are beneficiary for a task. These have the probability to create some positive responses in respect to fulfill the defined task or corresponding objectives. Opportunities are responsible to assist situation of favorableness. It helps to assist a situation. Is the situation is favorable or not? That will be specified, that will be measured on the basis of availability of opportunities. Opportunities is the parameter to consider the favorableness and non-favorableness of a task of an organizational activities. Opportunities are helpful to regulate the effectiveness of an organizational operations. It is helpful to regulate the effectiveness. Is the organizational activities or each and every organizational activities are beneficiary or not, or it is those are effective or not, that will be specified on the basis of effective implementation of opportunities or effective assessment about the opportunities. Therefore, opportunities is very important thing. Opportunities are responsible to easiest overcome of the difficulties. Easiest overcome. Opportunities help to overcome. Through the proper implementation, through the proper utilization of available opportunities, a system will be run properly by overcoming the non-desirable resistance or non-desirable effect of difficulties. Now, I want to focus on the other important topic, on the other important area. What is opportunities? Opportunities are positive stimulating factors of an operation or a task. It is a positive stimulating factors. Those are essential to gain benefit for defined assignment, assigned duty. It is very important to gain benefit. Opportunities are the causes of institutional progress. These aspects have the potentiality to regulate the rate of progress. Opportunities are the stimulating factor to move forward the normal growth, desirable growth. If an organization intends to move the growth rate normally, in this case, effective utilization of opportunities will be the beneficiary component. Now, I want to focus on the other important segments of this discussion or lecture or online class. What is opportunities analysis? Opportunity analysis. Opportunity analysis is a process of critical study for defining the positivity of a task. It is important to define the positivity of a task. Through the proper analysis of opportunities, it will be specified. Opportunities analysis is a systematic study of associated activities to define the favorableness of a task. Opportunity analysis is a technical study of conditional nature. It helps to study, it helps to identify the conditional nature of a task. Therefore, it is very important. Opportunity analysis helps to find out nature of functional factors to overcome the difficulties. How many factors are very functional? How many factors are very resisting factor? Those are responsible to resist the normal growth. Opportunities will help to increase, help to accelerate the progress rate by overcoming the difficulties. Opportunities analysis help to effective management of all related activities of an organization. Effective management, it will be helpful to plan, organize and other things to manage the total system. Opportunities analysis helps to define the applicability of an organization to stimulate properly. Now, I want to focus on the last important thing. What is opportunities analysis? Opportunity analysis helps to find out the nature of functional factors to overcome difficulties. These have been already discussed. Threats. This is the point is threats. What is threats? Threats are uncontrollable issue of an organization. Weaknesses are controllable issues of an organization, but threats are uncontrollable issues of an organization. Threats are the factors for destructive diversion of an assignment. Threats are the indicators of non-managed stimulating issues. Non-managed. How many stimulating issues are there? Those are not manageable. Those things are considered as the threats. Threats are the cause of immediate change. It is responsible for immediate change. Therefore, threats is not suitable for the effective movement or effective improvement of an organization. Threats are the barriers of gradual growth. Those are the barriers of gradual growth. Threats are the responsible to divert the situation of a positivity into negative ones. It helps to divert the positive dimension. It helps to divert the positive aspects into negative dimensions. Therefore, it is not very important to grow the institutional parameter. Threats are the responsible issues of sudden loss. Now I want to focus. What is a straight threats analysis? Threats analysis is a technique of critical study to find out the areas of corresponding problems. Critical study, it helps for critical study. Threats analysis is a technique to identify the state of drastic diversion of a progress task. This process will provide some effective information, those informations are responsible to take the decision. Threats analysis is an approach to quantify the probable issues of progressive program diversion. Threats can provide some technical ideas to effective nurture of opportunities. And threats analysis is an approach to nurture the difficult situation of a task. Thanks for your kind attention. If you want any queries, you can ask. I am waiting for your question. If you want to clarify, you want to ask anything, I will provide you some logical information or logical answer. Now I am waiting for your questions. I will wait for 1 minute. If you realize any questions, a learner ask a question, sir, how do I measure a student in this SWOT analysis? Please give a real example. The question is how this analysis technique will be applied by these students. Now I want to provide an effective example. You are a student, you are wants to appear in coming examination or coming competitive examination, that is NTA conducted NET in education. At that situation, if you want to assure your performance level, if you want to fulfill your goals and objectives, if you want to achieve the target, at that situation you need to find out some related information based on those 4 fundamental dimensions. Firstly, if you are needed to focus on your own strength, how many things are there, those things will be considered as your strength. And after that, you need to focus how many aspects are there, those aspects will play as a limitation factor. Those will be the responsible factor to limit your performance. Now I want to provide an example. You have the power to continue your study for a long time. You have the strength to study 5 to 7 hours per sitting. This is your strength. But limitation is that there is a limitation, some limitations. At the time to study, you feel some negative thoughts. You thoughts, am I suitable for this examination? You think like that. Some media influence or social media influence you realized at the time to study. At that situation, those things are weaknesses. Those things will be considered the weaknesses. But those weaknesses, those components are controllable. You can control the effect of social media. You can control the negative effect of negative thoughts. Therefore, weaknesses is considered as the controllable thing. Opportunities. You think how many opportunities are there? Those opportunities will be helpful to reach my target. Firstly, you need to identify how many opportunities are there. You firstly identify the material. How you can find out the material from different sources. After that, you need to find out how many tutorials are there. Those tutorials will be beneficiary to enrich yourself. You need to find out, you need to identify those opportunities, and after that you need to focus on the proper implementation of those opportunities. You need to balance. Firstly, you need to balance between strength and weaknesses, and similarly there are some threats. There are some threats like that. You feel some economic problem, you feel some the problem in understanding, you think the diversion, or sometimes there are so many non-desirable dimensions. Those dimensions are responsible to divert your mindset. In this case, those things will be the threats. I want to provide an example of threats. At the time of study, you are engaged in different activities. in negative activities or negative non-desirable activities. Those activities will create some negative effects. Therefore, you will not be able to fulfill your target. So this is the very important technique. If you want to grow, you need to find out firstly your strength. How many strengths or how much you have the strength. After that, how many dimensions are there, those are responsible to limit your performance. Thereafter, you need to find out the opportunities, or after that you need to find out the threats. And therefore, if you want to success in NET examination, you need to balance between strength and weaknesses. Similarly, you need to balance between opportunities and threats. This is the actual example, real example that you will be able to imply for your continuous improvement. A listener has asked a question. Threats points need repeat discussion. Threats are uncontrollable things. Those uncontrollable things will divert, will create some non-desirable resistance. Those will play some non-desirable effects to divert your normal growth rate. This is the threats. Okay, if you ask more questions, you can. I am waiting for 10 seconds for your next question. 4, 3, 2, 1. If you have any questions, if you realize any questions, thank you.